This is the program where we give you an update about what people are talking about this week. We examine the latest trending Google searches. Wait a minute. Yeah, we do. The Google searches for today, so you know what everyone is concerned about. It's like what everyone is going on the computer and looking for, right? So, now, I'm not claiming that these are the most important things or even that you should know them. I'm helping you know by letting you know what is going on in the world. What a rough opening. But that doesn't stop us, does it? As we say, on with the countdown.
Number 5.
Number 5 is one of our favorite things that people look for on the internet, and it's soccer. It's the Champions League. It looks like Liverpool battles Roma in the Champions League, and the decision is getting very soon. See, what they do is play a game. It's a sports game, and they do it in a place that's not the United States of America. Believe it or not, there are sports that Tom Brady or LeBron James or even A-Rod are not involved with. Yes, it's the rest of the world, and the United States needs to learn a little bit about it, and you can do that by Googling the Champions League.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Venom. Ooh, yeah. Folks, this is just, I'm glad you're listening to this because this is a big deal. There is going to be a comic book movie coming out. Yes, and we're all excited. We haven't seen a comic book movie since maybe about 30 or 40 minutes ago. This one's about Venom. Who's Venom? Well, I happen to know that Venom is like some type of alien thing that takes over a guy and then fights Spider-Man. So that sounds exciting. Will Spider-Man be in the movie? Well, no. Spider-Man's in the Marvel universe of shows, and this one's in the Sony universe of shows. So the bad guy for Spider-Man is going to be in a movie by himself. Why? Because Sony owns the character, and they want to make money. You have, what's that name of that guy who is the star of it? He played Bane. You know who he is. He's in every comic book movie. And now he's playing Venom. Jenny Slate is in it. She's hilarious, but she doesn't look funny in this. Somehow we're making the bad guy into the good guy. It sounds to me like Trump's America, huh? Yeah! But let's take a quick break, shall we? And let's check in with one of our sponsors. Maybe it's the way the sun kisses his cheek. Or maybe the gentle shoulder rubs before bedtime. It could be the homemade fettuccine alfredo he prepares last night. Or perhaps it's the load of laundry you folded neatly on the landing. Maybe it's just because he's there. Those actions say so much. Even when words are hard to find, let him know how much you love and appreciate him with a double-decker grill, a large plasma TV, and let him renovate the basement into a sports bar. Or you're just dreaming. For nights when you just can't sleep enough, try nocturnal emissions and get to sleep fast. Nocturnal emissions. Don't be up all night. Eject already. And use promo code your midweek update at checkout.
Number 3.
Number 3 is kind of a sad story. It is George H.W. Bush. I know him as George Bush. I mean, I didn't know there was another George Bush when I first knew about this guy back in 1980 when he became the vice president of these United States of America. But now he has to put an H in his name because of the other Bush, who's George W. Bush. See, I don't know why we don't call him George Bush and call the other guy George W. Bush, but now all of a sudden we got to call him George H.W. Bush, even though the H and the W was never around in 1980. Well, why is he in the news? Well, his poor wife passed away last week, and now he is in the hospital. Now, he is alert, he's talking, but he remains in intensive care. He is an elderly man, 94 years old, very active life, very distinguished life and wife who passed away, and family, and It looks as though maybe the stress of the situation with losing his wife of 73 years has gotten to him, and he's not doing so well. Our prayers are with him. We talked about the death of Barbara Bush last week, where that awful person did an awful tweet, and then other awful people had to tell her that she had to be fired because they're awful. And Twitter's awful. But Godspeed to George H.W. Bush, and hopefully he is, I was just saying hopefully he recovers, but, he's lived a long life. I just hope he's not in pain, and I hope that he's surrounded by loved ones when he needs them. Yeah, that's what he needs.
Number 2.
Okay, so this one's kind of cool to me. It's a sports one, but it's a little different. The search item is the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz, which, okay, they're a basketball team based out of Salt Lake City. And you're saying, Jazz? Well, the Jazz started in New Orleans as a basketball team because they have Jazz in New Orleans. They moved, and they didn't bother to change the name. They should have named it the Utah Salties for the Salt Lake, or the Utah Mini Wives. I don't know what they should call them. Sister Wives. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But they kept it the Jazz, and it just doesn't make sense. It never has. But they're playing in the playoffs, and they're excited in Salt Lake City. They're having a good time. And, sports is a big thing that people search for on the Google machine. But this one's interesting because Mitt Romney, who is a resident of the state of Utah, now, because he can run for office there, he was a resident of Massachusetts when he could run for office there. So whatever office he wants, he'll move to that state. He was at the Utah Jazz, and one of the other players was fouled out, and he started giving them guff, good-natured ribbing, and ha, 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 ha. That Mitt Romney is quite a card. We always thought he was kind of a robot guy, but he sure did give that other player the business. And a lot of people are excited by that. And again, Mitt Romney is a basketball star or actual fan.
And number 1.
Okay, this is a sad story. It just says Toronto. So people are trying to check out Toronto and the latest in this 25-year-old scumbag that used his car to mow down some pedestrians. It looks like about 10 people have been killed by this. And it's a terrible situation where there is so much violence, mass violence going on. And before you say it, don't give me this gun control crap argument with this thing, okay? The truck's not designed to kill people. The automatic weapon is, so that's what they are banned. And I hear what you're saying. You've listened to the show. You know when I went off and said that we need to ban some of these things. If we find that these vans that these people are driving are killing hundreds of people a year because of the driving, I'm all for banning them now too. So I'm trying to be consistent because that's what you deserve from your midweek update. So we had sports. We had near death. We had crime. And we had another superhero movie. Ah, yes. You are now up to date. Go forth, share all this information, and make yourself feel real good. That's your midweek update. This is Paul saying, until we meet again, be safe.
This has been a KCTK production, produced by Paul Lavoda. If you want more information about this content, then you have some real weirdness going on. You can always check out KCTK Radio on Facebook. Listen to live programs at kctk.radio12345.com. Yes, and that is on the World Wide Web. Thank you.